Alright, it's finally here after all of this time. Everything that I ordered has finally come in, and I can get to making this video that I really should have made months ago. Clearly, I decided to capitalize very well on my cheapest arcade stick on Newegg video by releasing this video, was it like 5 months after? So, what's in these? Well, I'll let you know what's in here after I tell you about my sponsor for this video, my damn self. I have a merch store opened up for the channel. It's mostly just me who works on this stuff. I have a buddy who comes on every now and again. We call him HurtboxTV. You've seen him several times, but today you can get your electric shirt on Streamlabs' merch store site. I opened one up just because I've been trying to Twitch stream a little bit more, which clearly hasn't worked out for me because I haven't done it in 2 weeks. Go figure. But you can get yourself, I don't have a shirt to show off because I actually haven't gotten mine yet, but it is there's a white and a black one with a red and a blue logo, and they just say electric on it. You're all called the Electric Squad now. I hope you're happy. So I think they're reasonably priced. There's some other stuff on there. Do pick up a shirt. It does help out the channel. If I'm streaming and you guys happen to pick up one, it will show up while I'm streaming that you went and purchased something. It supports the channel, it supports me, it lets me start to do more of these little fun dumb videos every now and again. So go ahead and pick one up. It's streamlabs.com merch store, HurtboxTV, I think, merch HurtboxTV. I'll link it down below so you guys can go pick up one if you want. Like I said, there's white and there's black. I don't think I have any other colors. There's just the red logo and the blue logo. There's also hoodies, and I believe I did a mug as well, just cuz. Anyway, yeah, go and pick yours up today. When I originally was gonna do a follow-up video to the cheapest arcade stick on Newegg, I had thought about doing other things. Cheapest arcade stick on Amazon, cheapest arcade stick on eBay. And I thought to myself, when I saw some of these off-brand arcade stick parts, and they're all manufactured in China, these things. And I thought to myself, what would be cool is a cheapest arcade stick parts on Banggood. And if you don't know what Banggood is basically just Chinese Amazon. They do almost exactly the same thing. It's just you know, you get a lot more Chinese branded knockoff stuff and just Chinese stuff in general. It's all made there. So when I was searching on Banggood one day, I happened to come across some knockoff arcade stick buttons, joystick that looks like it's a Sanwa. It's all this what is that, sky blue, and it came with a PCB and all these wires and stuff to attach to the buttons and everything so you can play it. It's a set for MAME and PS3, I believe. But what ended up happening was that I ended up shelving the video because I didn't know how I could make it interesting. So when I went and picked up the idea again about a week ago, I thought to myself, hey, how could I make this interesting? Should I just continue on with the same idea that I was going to do, just see if these in a stick like this would actually be feasible? Could you just buy these in place of actual arcade stick parts? And I went, nah, let's go with a budget build arcade stick. Let us make a cheap arcade stick from Banggood. So instead of the cheapest arcade stick on Banggood or cheapest arcade stick parts on Banggood, I will instead be making the cheapest arcade stick on Banggood. So last week I went and searched for a case, I went and searched for some other stuff. So while a majority of the parts are from Banggood, it's relatively inexpensive, the build. It's just that I did get some other extra stuff from Focus Attack. I don't know if these screws that I got from Focus Attack will work, but when I bought these were about $18, this whole set. And then the case, and I, just for blink factor, got something else, which I am going to open up now, so we can see together. I haven't opened this up, so we can see together how Chinese this is. And this thing just look at how this thing is wrapped. Oh my god. All right, so we got some stuff on here. And we're just gonna straight open it up. Wow. Okay. This feels awful. This feels awful to open, by the way. It feels dirty, like there's dust all over it. Which, I mean, there is. So we got that. That is the case. You might be familiar with the case. You see it all over the place on really cheap Chinese-made arcade sticks. And this thing really just does... It's fighting me, is what this is doing. So, we got another stick there. Wow, this is a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be. But the case, you'll be familiar with once I show you it. It's, never cut towards yourself with a box cutter. If this guard hadn't been here, I would have sliced my thumb open. Okay, so... yeah, this is very small. This is in fact just the plexi. No, there's more to it, and here we have it. Oh, this feels so cheap. This looks like a toy. Okay, all right. Let's talk about the parts for a second. This is just some $20, $21 arcade stick case. Oh, it's got stuff all over here. This is a supposed LED joystick. What does it say on here? It has sun runes on it, and it says joystick in the corner. So I'm just gonna assume it's joystick. It is joystick brand joystick. And what this thing apparently does is that it has LEDs in it. Yeah, that looks like... Man, there's just... I see all this Chinese glue. Am I gonna contract something from this stick? Whatever. So, we're gonna cut really quick. And we're going to just... I'm gonna move this out of the way, and we're just gonna take a look at all of this stuff up close and personal. Alright, we're back. As you can see, I've removed this, and you can tell that this is ghetto as hell right now. I am using a Noctua NFA14 box, fan box, that I recently bought for my computer to hold up this laptop holder that holds my arcade sticks. I'm going to try and have them displayed like that from now on, instead of using these cheap dollar store ones that I have, like for this guy up here. Yeah. Anyway, as you can tell, this is the highest quality thing you could ever expect to have. We got little suction cups, you know, because it, you know, for feeling like you want it to stay there, but it's really not. We have the board, the USB controller, and I think that is the train outside. I hope this doesn't get picked up. I pray to the gods I am going to game end you. We have the arcade stick, which the pins unfortunately got messed up in transit. I don't think that's really going to affect anything as long as they're not broken off. But this might be a separate thing, because we're going to be using this guy right here, which is the LED, which is an LED stick. Wow, that is actually not, that is actually part of the housing for the... Wow, that goes all the way to the bottom. Wow. Okay. And then we have these guys right here, which are the, I don't know what the brand is called. They look like the Seimitsu PS14s, I think they are, the short shaft. ones, but I really doubt they are, because they look like they have Korean housings for Korean buttons. Yeah, that's how I wanted to word that. And it's very strange. They have a very strange... I can already feel they have a very strange click. They definitely feel like the... if you ever bought the Make Stick IST case, the 24mm buttons that go on there for the start and select definitely feel like that. And these are the exact buttons, too. They look exactly the same. They feel exactly the same for the two 24mm. So, I guess Korea manufactures their arcade stick parts in China. So, what we're going to be doing here is we're just going to be building like the cheapest budget arcade stick possible. And, oh man, it smells like China. It smells like China in here. But we're going to be building the cheapest arcade stick, or at least one of the cheapest arcade sticks we possibly can. And I'll let you know what the final price is at the end of the video once I actually do all the quick maths. I don't actually know off the top of my head. I know there's like, it's probably going to be somewhere like 50 bucks. Which, for 50 bucks, you might as well just buy a Mayflash. And then get actual Sanwa parts, but I digress. So, this is what we're going to be using. The board is USB joystick. Yeah, the lighting isn't the best, I realize that. I should probably focus it more on something where you can actually read it, but this is a USB joystick. It's supposedly has everything for what I need. I think it has stuff for LEDs. It also has it for my stick and all that. Where did I put the... Oh. The parts that didn't come from Banggood are right here. And some of this might work, some of it probably won't. And these are little adhesive pads for PCBs. You definitely want to get these if you're going to be mounting any kind of PCB inside of a case, just because you don't want it rattling around in there. It's got a 4-pin USB cord. I imagine that it's fairly lengthy. I don't actually know. Again, the buttons and stick I bought months ago, and they've just been sitting in a corner in my room. Yeah, that's fairly decent size. It's just been sitting there in a corner, not really doing much. So, here's all the screws. Is that gonna fit? Wow, that might actually all work the way that I need it to. Okay. Perfect. So, what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be, I'm gonna be cutting to me building the stick. I'm just gonna do some overhead shots, me putting it together. I don't have a cameraman, it's late, there's a bunch of stuff just on here. Ugh, that is dirty. I'm gonna have to clean everything off. Hopefully I don't get an infection. But I'm going to put this stick together. We're gonna look at the final product on the display stand, and I'm going to kind of play test it and just let you know how it is, and if you should in fact make one of these kinds of arcade sticks, or if you are just better off spending your money elsewhere. So I'm gonna set that up. What am I doing? It looked like it was going to start coming off in one piece, and then it just kind of breaks apart, leaves all this crap. I'm going to leave that there. I'm leaving that there. That's going to be aesthetics. That's just... You couldn't have come up with a better way to keep this. It didn't even keep it... It didn't even keep it, like, safe from scratches. You can see all this scratching up on the top. Guys, you put it on the wrong side. You should have put it on both sides. Alright, you know what? That's about as much effort as I'm willing to put. Okay, so I guess that's how that'll work. I really get the feeling this isn't gonna mount properly. No, it looks like it barely fits. Wow, hallelujah. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh, that's such a tight fit. I feel like I'm gonna break this thing. They don't even go all the way. They don't even snap in properly. Oh no. China, what is you doing? That one went in easier. That one went in easier. Okay. I'm not even gonna be able to use all the buttons. I'm gonna have 2 left over. Cause this is 6 button. Guys, what if I'm playing an 8-button game? You know, if I'm playing SNK Heroines, that's an 8-button game, right? I feel like I'm gonna snap this thing. I mean, it's thick. I'll give it that, but like, it's so forceful. Like, when you're putting in buttons into a plexi, it should not feel like that. It should be a lot easier to put in. Oh, and then there's like no clearance. There's no space for your hand to rest on. This is a terrible idea. Why did I spend money on this? Right, the memes. That went in surprisingly easy, and that thing comes out because the other ones do not budge. I swear to God, how long is that train gonna be out there for? Okay. Well, that's mounted. Well, I'll get to the mounting the stick in a bit. And I promise in future videos that I will try to get somebody who can manage this small area. That is my room. These aren't gonna fit, are they? Yeah, that ain't gonna fit. Those holes are way too small for this thing. This was meant for like Brook stuff. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I knew one of these things I ordered for Focus Attack wasn't gonna work. Good thing I have a high need for these in other sticks. So we're just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. Am I not gonna be able to do the LEDs? Am I gonna have to put quick disconnects on something? Is that how this is gonna work? Well, actually, it might be. No. What is that for? There's like 2 right, up, ground, left, down, ground, down, up, right, left. There's like 2. Why? Why would somebody do this? Well, it's done. The cheapest arcade stick that I could build off of stuff from Banggood. So it wasn't a very good idea. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. First off, this case is like $21 case. $21 and the plexi's scratched on the inside. This stuff didn't come off properly, so I just left it where it was. The buttons feel horrible. They're awful. They're like, they have this weird resistance to them. So if you're used to Sanwas, not even say Mitsus are this resilient. If you're used to Sanwas, then prepare to feel like you're pressing them but not actually get any sort of input. Of course, when I'm testing this kind of stuff, I usually do Street Fighter V just because it's easier to pull up the window and check the inputs and everything, but I couldn't even do that because this board in here, this joystick USB board, registers as a keyboard. So I was doing some weird stuff like enlarging things and moving some weird crap when I was at my desktop, not in a game. So this thing definitely does not have X input. I haven't tried it on the PS3, but I will post it if it does work on the PS3 in the video while we're doing all this stuff or just after. But for my testing on PC, it's not very good. It doesn't feel like it has any latency. I was getting the combos that I test with Ryu pretty consistently, which is was it back heavy kick, back roundhouse. What am I doing? Back roundhouse, light kick, DP super, as well as forward fierce into crouching fierce DP super. I was just messing around with that, doing jump-ins and stuff, and when I did press the button, the input did come out on time. I didn't feel like it missed any inputs. Right after this, I'm also going to be recording some, I'm going to also show me playing some Tekken, some Soul Calibur, and some other stuff as I'm talking. Right about now, should be going on just fine. Should be just showing that. But anyway, now that all of that is over, and we've built this Banggood stick, because it bang really good, I'm going to go ahead and just pull up how much I paid for each thing, and I'm going to just show you the total altogether on the screen. So, the stick case, the clear DIY acrylic panel case, as it's listed on Banggood. I'll list all these if you want to make your own Banggood atrocity. The DIY clear black acrylic panel case, sturdy construction for arcade joystick game controller was $21.99. The LED arcade LED illuminated joystick, colorful, switchable from 4 to 8-way operation stick, which I didn't get to use, was $7.69. I am including that in the overall price because I did spend money on it and it doesn't work, or I can't get it to work at this time. And the buttons, or these little anodized aluminum screws, they're from Arcade Shock. Sorry. They're from Focus Attack, and they don't cost very much. They're like 89 cents, I want to... No, they're like $4. So I'll put the price up there as well. And then my buttons and stick were Zero Delay Arcade Game Controller USB Joystick Kit for MAME. And that was $18.72 when I bought it. So, at the time of purchase, it's a little bit cheaper, so it's probably gonna it'll probably work better for you. I probably don't have the right PCB because I know that this one says for MAME, and I'm pretty sure they have ones that are for the PS3. It's just that I didn't get, this one might not work for the PS3. So, okay. Future Dan here, interrupting the last part of the video, the ending part. So, this thing works on the PlayStation 3. I'm interrupting myself at the point where I hadn't tested it yet, and I realized something. You have to plug one of these into the mode switch, and the mode switch lets you switch between the left, like analog, and the digital, or something like that. So I had to go and rewire this again, just so I can actually move around on the PlayStation 3. Like, it works in the menus and stuff, but in game I couldn't move, so I had to switch it to the mode button. That actually got it to work. So this does work on the PlayStation 3, but you're gonna need way more buttons on this controller, and yeah, it's gonna require some work. So if you are looking into this board in particular, then yes, it'll work. Asterisks work, because so far I've been playing it on Tekken Tag 2 on the PS3, and oh boy, this thing is not fun. This thing is not a fun thing to play on. There's like no wrist support, hurts my wrists, flies around everywhere because there's no weight. So definitely modding this thing to crap and making that a series where I turn this pile of Chinese junk into something half decent, because in this state it is not. Anyway, back to the other thing. If you're just strictly PC, then you know this board, or if you're just strictly MAME, that might work fine for you. But overall, was this stick really worth it? No. You're better off just buying a Mayflash F300 or a Quanba drone or a Venom fight stick, or literally almost anything else than spending, I believe, what, $50 or close to $50 with shipping for this thing. And it looks atrocious. As you can see, it looks utterly bad. It looks terrible. The suction cups are just they add that level of gamer. They're high quality gamer stuff, I guess. I might make this a series where I just go through and slowly upgrade this thing, or try to work with what I have and try and make this look like a cool arcade stick, maybe. You know, it's also a little bit misleading. The case here, this thing is, by the way, very, very light. This case looked like it was completely clear when I saw the pictures on Banggood, but as you can see, that is not the bottom. The main part of the case isn't really that see-through. A little bit, but it's not really. Honestly, yeah, you're better off spending your money on something like a Mayflash F300, and then probably throwing a Brook in there, or if you're gonna go and spend that money on a Brook UFB or something, you might as well just go and get an Obsidian or a Fighting Edge or something, just something that actually has monetary value, not like this. But I might upgrade this over time, try and get some artwork done on it, or leave the really bad masking, whatever the hell this is called, on there, and then just see if I can change out the micro switches on these things. Stick. This isn't the worst thing I've ever tried. It's almost like a Quanba. It's lever. It's neither good nor bad. It's acceptable. And the cord seems a little bit, it does seem a little bit on the short side. It might not be. I'll have to gauge it compared to some of my other arcade sticks with long USB cables just to see how it is. But don't waste money on this unless you really want to copy my arcade stick build for whatever reason. So anyway, with all that out of the way, okay, last thing. I tried to use this. It's a PS3 to PS4 Brook converter, just to see if it'd work, if you could just get a like $40 converter and use this thing on PS4 or whatever. You can't. It doesn't work. This thing isn't a PS3 board like I originally thought. It just happens to work on the PS3 for whatever stupid reason. This whole thing is a mess. That's the last time I'm going to be doing an intermission. Now the video is going to be done. This thing really needs an upgrade. I'm out. If you liked it, thumbs up. If you disliked it, do whatever you have to do. You dislike the video. Comment what you'd like to see in the future. Would you like to see what kind of arcade stick builds? What kind of arcade anything? This is how, after all, HurtboxTV's arcade corner, and it's coming back from the dead, 6 months or whatever, however long it's been late. And you know, do the comments, share the video, get subscribed if you haven't. Check out the merch store that I talked about at the beginning. We have a Patreon and we have a Twitch. Everything is going to be linked down in the description for you to view and do whatever the hell you want. I'll link the last video after this on the end card. You'll be able to take a look at the last video that I did, the cheapest arcade stick on Newegg, as well as some of the other stuff that I've done. So with that, I'm Dan. This is HurtboxTV's Arcade Corner. You've been all wonderful, and I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully, it won't be this awful.